mentioned that when she looked at him when he was coming out of the fire, he had no eyes. But in the rest of the movie, we are believed to think that he did have eyes because he could cook, he could do anything. Was that a case of the story of this Denzel Washington character in the book of Eli? Or was he actually, did he have eyes to see? Or did he not have eyes to see? Then he used the rose, the scarlet carson. What does it represent? Because that rose was thought to be extinct. But somehow V has some of it and places them on those people who had wronged him and took them out and placed it there. Perhaps giving them some sort of a peaceful death, so to speak, because he injected them with some little stuff or whatever.
Is that the last question?
And finally, when V was born, he was born out of fire. But when Evie was born, she was born in the rain. Why these two contrasting elements? So
because God is in the rain.
Pick the one you want to answer.
God is in the rain.
Sorry. Calm down, first. Everybody pick the one you want to answer. Everybody pick the one.
Please,
2 minutes to answer.
Who was Rockwood?
Pick the one you want to answer.
Please, someone should also answer my question.
Okay. Wait. We will answer. Allow me moderate. What's your second question? Symbolism of kini or people in the crowd, Abi?
No, the first one.
I'm talking to Odiri. That's the second question. Okay, what's the third
one? The girl
one?
And the guy who died, they were in the crowd.
Okay, what's the third one?
The third one was...
who wants to answer that one?
Because
who wants to answer that one?
I can take a shot at that one.
Okay, what's the next one? Rose, who wants to answer Rose? Seredo, take Rose.
The Rose.
Take Rose, Seredo. Have I covered everything?
Then the last one.
The last one?
The first question about religion.
Okay,
it was about religion. Why was it?
That's the one Ayinke wants to answer. I've covered everything, Abi. Ayinke starts.
Okay. Then the last one. Why was V born in the fire and Evie from the rain? Sorry, now.
G, we answer that one. Oh yeah, Ayinke, hit it.
Yeah, the one about religion. So, if you look at a lot of societies like that, you note that all the people at the forefront, taking somebody like Oliver Cromwell. In fact, I think that Chancellor's character was based largely off Oliver Cromwell. People who are extremists, religious extremists, and then they lose it. So for them, they were doing the Lord's work. They were puritanical, doesn't mean they followed that in their own personal lives. So if you were not doing any other religion, it would have made you suspect, as long as it wasn't a Bible. Be it the Quran was just more, to pass across another message, was just more, in quotes, meaningful. But it wasn't just about religion. It was that if you were not following their own religion, because as far as they are concerned, they were mandated by God to do what they are doing. They are doing the Lord's work. And anything they do, which is why people like that are the most dangerous, because they will do anything. They will do even worse things than the devil, because they truly believe in that Chancellor guy. Truly believes in what he's doing as the work of God. So anything that falls by the wayside is, and in this case, you can imagine a puritanical Christian. What will be they've banned everything else. You all have to be Christian. And then you now have a Quran. You must be the devil, So it could have been any other religion. It's just that having a Quran was more, as long as it wasn't Christian, you're in trouble. Does that
answer your question?
Does that answer your question?
No, it's a viewpoint. It's a viewpoint question. Everybody have the answer, but I agree.
Dotun, next.
Okay, I would say to answer your question about his sight or his sense of sight. Yes, he lost his sight in the fire, in the whole process, came out without the fire. But if you notice that the kind of treatment they've given them, they are giving him some super strength. And for humans, one of the things we say about our senses is when you lose one sense, the others get heightened a bit. When you lose one sense, the other one gets heightened. You lose the sense of sight, you then depend on smell, touch, feel, blah, blah, blah. This is somebody that's been through one hell of a torture, survives it, has some serums in his body that's giving him some or some super strength somewhere, be it intellectual or strength, physical strength, without eyes. He has a motive, he has a vendetta. He's gonna have to push without his eyes. So it's just what I'm saying is maybe he's a blind vigilante, but the kind of strength senses he had, heightened senses can help him strategize. If you look at, there's a scene where he sent a mail to the detective looking for him and said, if you want to meet me, respond to this mail, I'll give you coordinates. And then they met at their museum that was dedicated to the St. Mary virus victims. He wasn't wearing his mask then. He was looking like a ratchet old man, but he still had that blind man glasses on. So yeah, he was functioning like he could see. He could have worked his senses to that.
That
It
was
could
the
be
mask.
That was the mask.
yeah, that was the mask.
You always wear a
alright.
mask.
No, see, that's the thing. He didn't wear the what's the name of this ox mask? It was something else, something more soft, fleshy to work it because he couldn't show his.
so
But
where
see,
they could-
he still
they could
wore
call
that
him
blind
Rockwood.
man's glasses. Even if you can't see, there's kind of glasses you wear different from what a blind man will wear.
But I don't think he could not see because one thing the doctor said was
Even me too. I don't think he could not see because we never saw this face. We saw his face based on what the woman saw. It was night. It was dark.
She said
All we
didn't
have to
have
go on
eyes.
was watch.
No, but he said I could.
She
feel- I
mentioned
knew what
specifically
he
that
was
she
doing.
looked into his
Yes.
eyes
I know.
and he didn't have any.
There was no eye.
And
But
she had
that-
looked into where his
she
eyes
knew-
were supposed to be, and all she saw was fire, but she knew he was looking.
When the
Looking at
camera
her,
was
yes.
close to his face, that place was hollow. Like that part was sort of kind of burnt hollow, but the guy was still alive and active.
But the camera was.
But I think that was the point of view
No,
of
he's
the
a dark
woman.
sheep. Maybe
They
that.
wanted
See,
us
that's
to
Yeah, that's what I feel. That's the point of
They
view
wanted
of the
us to
woman.
see what she was imagining. They wanted
That's
us
the point
to see
of
what
view.
she imagined. I saw your face. I saw the whole thing, but I didn't see. But I knew you
But
were
one
looking
thing I
at
can
me.
say, one thing I know is that it's not like they released him in 2019 and within 1 year he planned the 5th November 2020 thing. He must have had
Oh,
time.
it took him
to plan.
years. It took him
See,
years.
that is enough time for
All those things
somebody
he's been collecting. Remember, he was
with-
also.
vendetta
Remember-
to perfect their skills without surviving without their eyes.
And remember,
So
he
in the
was
book,
also stealing
in the
stuff.
book, he
I
actually
don't
can
think
see.
he was.
In the book, he
Yeah,
can
he
see.
can see. I don't think he was blind.
Yeah, he
I
wasn't
don't
blind.
think.
In the
I
book,
think-
you can see. In this movie, I think the message, the what I mean, I'm getting in the movie is they again writers meet me. The writer's way of writing too kind of allows you to tweak certain things. If you, they always like this particular hero. They never talked about the other supporters he had, the people that were helping him with attaining certain things. But we knew that I was not the only one fighting the battle. It's based on our own understanding. This side thing too, I'm thinking is going to that way. He had time to develop himself. Maybe he was not totally blind, or maybe just his face was just too disfigured for us to see.
But
he may still have the
remember
sight.
that the only time a reference was made to his sight was when the woman was talking, and
The woman
whatever
made
they showed
reference.
us, what happened.
I paid attention to it. I paid attention to all the other scenes where, in case was not with his mask, in case I can just catch his glimpse. And one place that I paid attention to was when he was meeting those detectives. He wore another mask, still covered his eyes. Then I just noticed that the glasses he used to cover his eyes was not. Maybe it was just part of his costume. Maybe one part of his
You
costume.
said it was a
Remember
blind
that-
man's glasses.
remember that
It
in
was
the
a
movie-
blind man's glasses he wore to meet
But
those
remember in the
detectives.
movie,
I don't know
he
what
was
the blind
reading
man's
books.
glasses
He was
is.
reading
Sorry?
books in the movie.
Exactly. I mean, I
Could be
don't
He
real.
know.
was watching movie. He was mimicking the
He
sword
was
scene.
saying
Exactly.
the sword, the sword fighting.
There's no
And
way.
that's why I
Exactly.
said
He
the
was
only
mimicking
reference-
it.
And
The
also
only
need to be
reference
blind.
to eyes was that woman's conversation, and her conversation.
I
was-
don't believe
her
he's
reference
blind.
was-
Because there's
Her
no way
reference
you're
was-
using some extra developed sixth sense to watch it.
That is what need. You can.
to watch a
you can-
movie and know how to
Maybe
find
not-
things
maybe the-
and reproduce them.
Maybe the moves, maybe in that part of maybe the moves, yes, you can argue that okay, fine, maybe that one. But you say extra sense to watch a movie, you can actually watch
and
the actors.
to watch and recreate the scene.
But recreating, okay, you do have a point there. But just what I'm saying in my own, for what I observe, if we were to go by that logic that he lost his sight, I was able to. Maybe he was not fully blind. We cannot maybe not say that for sure. Or he developed his senses over the years. So many theories. There is just left for, I think, again, it's just left for us to try to fix that idea that works best. A blind.
All right, next question. Is it D or Sewedo? Rose, Abi? Sewedo, Rose. Hit it.
That's Rosa.
What exactly does he want to know about the rose exactly?
It
No,
was
the
lying of what
What it
significance
represents,
of,
Rose,
because
yeah.
the rose
yeah.
is
No, now
extinct.
the roses.
I was actually
The
curious
rose is
about it.
extinct.
First of
Why
all,
a rose?
so roses are usually symbols to show love or to show death. As we know, the villain that Michael Clark Duncan plays in the first Daredevil movie by Mark Taylor Johnson usually used to place a rose on his victims. However, in this particular movie, the rose is a symbol of um, V honoring the memory of Valerie, because Valerie was the lesbian lady who was, who was also tortured and died. Her lover Ruth used to plant roses, cultivate roses for her, and because of course V got besotted with just the entire story of Valerie and all that, he used to do that. He cultivated roses too in Lark Hill, and in her memory, like saying, look, I'm avenging us, I'm avenging me, I'm avenging you with these idiots. Oh yeah, collect rose.
That's another
That
proof
kind of
that he
thing.
did good, because you need to see to be able to cultivate plants.
Yeah, so regarding the side stuff, I know that most of you are correct, really. Or not, and whether the experimentation granted him powers and all that. But I think that the makers of the movie, who have adapted from the graphic novel, didn't want to run with that. But somehow I feel they just put in that throwaway line to signify that that V had, when you say he had no eyes, meaning he became inscrutable. He became ruthless. You know when you say I don't even understand what's going on in his face, because
somebody that doesn't have eyes can't see corruption.
As in, when you are saying that that person, something has died, so to speak. So I think she was saying something had died within the guy, and he had become very ruthless. But the rose is in honor of Valerie.
All right, D. His question, then we'll answer your question.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
so
we have. Sorry, before you start your answer. Sorry, we have 8 minutes to 3 o'clock. So.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
So
I'm just going to be quick. You said something about the elements. So basically, I think
born in the fire, born in the rain.
I think basically when it comes to adversity, the elements are always, or almost always, present in the birth of, rebirth or birth of any special person. And I don't think it matters whether it was earth, wind, or fire. It was
wind,
so basically, it was just I think it was just a tribute to the elements. He was born in fire. We go through the fire, through the flood, through the storm.
8 minutes.
No, I know.
Through the storm, there is always a rebirth.
Personally, I think that was a homage to the Shawshank Redemption. I might be wrong, but remember, it was about her being free. And in Shawshank Redemption, in the climax, as Dufresne came out, you hear the voiceover of Morgan Freeman says, "My friend Dufresne walked through something kilometers of shit and came out free on the other side," as the music ratcheted up to a crescendo, and the guy comes out, and then the camera just swoops on him, and then thunder.
You are reaching. You are reaching.
Badges,
Easter eggs and all those things, but I don't know about
that. I don't think it's about that, but I do agree with this point of just paying tribute to elements. There's a thing about elements and movies and people's reaction to it. Yeah. Somebody walking out unharmed from a burning building, the hero. You don't know That
or say
that he could have
some
been
money somewhere.
Yeah, that he could have been. Yeah. Then so that he could have been a very rich guy, possibly a libertine, well, very well read, very cultured, which I think is part of the brilliance of Modiri's question about Daddy Dietrich. Daddy Dietrich said the same thing that V used to say.
And he made her what they call it now. He made her
the same not only that, they seem to have almost identical tastes in even the things they collected. So I have a theory that it's possible either Dietrich was the dad or an older brother or a lover or whatever, because it was a bit disconcerting, the similarity and all that.
The one that was killed for having the Quran.
Yes. Well, for making fun of the chancellor originally, but then killed because he had the Quran.
And they made the same kind of toast.
Yes, that's what we are saying. The similarities are so.
I got a feeling that his history with the chancellor and the rest, like there was some history even before Lackhill.
Oh yes. Isn't that? It's essentially the people who somehow were in cahoots with themselves before Lackhill under the North Fire Party that then benefited once the party came to power. Prothero, Bishop, they were in the same clique, kind of.
All right. Sorry, guys, we gotta go. It's already 2 hours. But before we end, I want to ask a question. I think this chick was very loyal to not open his face even after he died. She wasn't like, she had just accepted the mask as his face. If you were her, this is a yes or no question. If you were her, would you have opened the mask?
I will open, except he asked me to open. But if there's no question of no open, he is dying.
This all I would have.
Let me because
I wouldn't have.
Yes or no question. Yes or no question. Would you have
seen those burnt fingers?
Because I'm crazy, I wouldn't have. Because I'm mad, I wouldn't have.
Because I am
yes or no? Seriously, people now. Yes or no question.
I've told you my answer. Mine is no, because I haven't seen those fingers, those burnt fingers. I don't want to see any nightingale.
I don't want to see no face.
Because Because
Carl, was yes or no? Yes or no? I don't need your explanation. Yes or
You
no?
asked open-ended question, and you're now saying you want
Ojiri.
No.
I say no. I say yes or no. Ojiri, yes or no?
No, V is an idea.
I can't.
V is an idea, not a person.
So don't do.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes or no? I got you for a very difficult time.
It depends.
Yes or no? We know they do like this. Yes or no? Yes or no? No, they do me like this.
Curious me, yes.
That's a yes. You will take it as a yes.
Curious me, yes.
All right.
Because it also brings up the question of like
when
your father says you should do something.
For me, I wouldn't have. Nobody, no one person answer yes or no. No one person. Hey, that's why we stay 3 hours sometimes. Oh yeah, you did better person. Don't you never talk? You can't give me one long explanation.
What did I do?
Everybody gave explanation. And then you gave explanation.
That's what she wanted.
No,
just yes. No explanation.
No, yes.
All right, guys, it's been fun. Thank you for coming. Honestly, this was really fun. We got to see each other on a political point of view, so it was nice. And see you next week. I'll make the post.